Well, let me ask you a very uncomfortable question. What happens when a powerful country feels it is losing a war? Do they accept defeat or do they use their most dangerous weapons? You see, this question has worried military experts for decades because the most powerful weapons on earth are not tanks, not missiles, not even aircraft carriers. They are nuclear weapons. And today, the United States has about 5,200 nuclear warheads, according to global nuclear monitoring groups. That is enough destructive power to destroy human civilization many times over. So naturally, people sometimes ask a scary question. Could the United States ever use nuclear weapons again, especially in a tense region like the Middle East? And some people add another layer to that question. What if a very unpredictable leader is in power? Well, to understand the answer, we need to go back to history because nuclear weapons have only been used in war twice. In 1945, near the end of World War II, the United States dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Those explosions killed more than 2 lakh people directly and indirectly. The war ended shortly after, but the world saw something terrifying. Humanity had created a weapon that could destroy entire cities in seconds. After that moment, global leaders slowly built a powerful idea. It is called nuclear deterrence. The logic is simple but frightening. If two countries both have nuclear weapons, neither wants to use them because using them could trigger mutual destruction. This concept became known as mutually assured destruction or MAD. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union both had tens of thousands of nuclear weapons. Yet, despite intense rivalry, they never used them. Why? Because the consequences would be catastrophic. Now let's talk about the Middle East. The Middle East is one of the most complicated geopolitical regions on earth. It includes major conflicts involving Iran, Israel, US allies in the Gulf, militant groups, global energy routes. But here is something important. The United States already has overwhelming conventional military power. Its Air Force, Navy, and missile systems are among the most advanced in the world. For example, the US defense budget is around $800 billion per year. That is larger than the military spending of many countries combined. Because of this strength, nuclear weapons are usually seen as a last resort. In fact, US nuclear policy is designed mainly for deterrence, not battlefield use. Even when tension rises, leaders understand that using nuclear weapons would create enormous consequences. First, there would be massive humanitarian destruction. Second, the political backlash would be global. Third, it could trigger escalation with other nuclear powers like Russia or China. And once nuclear escalation begins, no one can truly control where it stops. Now let's talk about leadership. Some people worry that unpredictable leaders might take extreme decisions. Political personalities matter in global politics. Different leaders have different risk tolerances. However, the United States system has multiple layers of decision making. Military advisors, intelligence agencies, and institutional checks all influence strategic decisions. Launching nuclear weapons is not a simple emotional decision. It involves complex procedures and verification steps. And even military leaders understand the long-term consequences. Because nuclear weapons do not just win wars, they can change the entire global order. In fact, experts say nuclear weapons today are mostly psychological weapons. They shape diplomacy, they influence strategy, but their real power lies in not being used. Still, the world today is entering a new era of tension. Conflicts are rising, great power competition is increasing, and military technologies are becoming more advanced. So the big question for the future is not just about one country. The real question is this: can humanity continue to prevent nuclear weapons from ever being used again? Because the truth is, the nuclear age has already lasted nearly 80 years without another nuclear attack. That may be one of the most fragile achievements in human history. And keeping that record intact may be one of the most important responsibilities of global leaders today. So the next time you hear someone talk about the nuclear option, remember something important. Those two words are not just military strategy. They represent a decision that could reshape the future of the entire planet.